Broadcasting live from the very hallowed grounds of the bayous of Louisiana. Hello, everybody. It's been a while, and I know you haven't missed me. But I'm back anyway. And I want to say hi, of course, to Stu, Rowdy, Dens. Dude, I'm sorry, man. We got some shit we're trying to work out up here. And I'm sorry, man. On behalf of all of us. Most 90% of us. 85? Yeah. Yeah. Robert Diaz, how you doing, sir? Broadcasting live tonight on Facebook, my personal page, and once again, the Nakatosh Studios page is just getting, it's the redheaded stepchild. So I'm working through that. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get back to broadcasting on there and get off of my personal page. Go from there. But it's been a rough couple weeks. So I'm a little bit back, 95% back. But it just yeah. Anytime I have the when you hit 50, medications are your life. Welcome to old age. So anytime I have any kind of screw up with mine, it takes me a while to bounce back, especially if I have any kind of seizure. And so it has been a rough couple of, and hopefully, it won't be. It won't be. It's going to be screwed up. And it's probably going to get worse. So we'll just see what happens. So, but right now I'm feeling pretty good, and yeah, I could say that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So, we're just gonna work through it because it's either that or I turn all this shit off and I go sit in my chair and watch the vastly diminished YouTube channels that keep me entertained. So at Super K, don't remember seeing you in the house, but welcome, neighbor. Frankie, there's better things to do with your time. I recommend sending edible eats. And wait, you're from Washington State? Just send edibles. Ooh, are we gonna get a new Kaiju Kitty time lapse video? Is that what this? Breaking news. Breaking news. We have confirmation of a brand new Kaiju Kitty time lapse video. Not completed, but incoming. So yeah. That Anyway, it has been a rough couple weeks, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. Um, I hope it gets better. It and that's all anybody can do. Just hope it gets better. Mostly just so Max will shut up, quit bitching about it, and move on with whatever cool shit we're doing today. And we are gonna do some cool shit today because I've been wanting to sniff this glue for a minute, and by cracky, we're gonna do it. First, we're gonna stay hydrated because that's what D Amazing would want us to do. You know, it's funny that you should mention Budo. This is a cool figure. That's what we're going to be working on tonight. This is the new in his samurai outfit. Um Budo from G.I. Joe Classified. And it it's I know it's kind of become a meme, but you know, the buy two. But I had to get two. And what has happened with all that is I ended up with, because I had to have one in his regular outfit and then one in his samurai outfit. So now I have an extra set samurai gear. And what I want to do tonight is I want to build a samurai armor stand. And we're going to work through, kind of figure out. I kind of got, this is kind of some museum pieces, stuff like that. And of course, that's not going to work entirely because this is a toy. You are a toy. So we've got to have a way for the chest, the leggings, the helmet, the the waist. These are the leggings. And listen, if you own this figure and you're having trouble with these leggings on the inside, and I don't know if you can see this, you can zoom in. Maybe the light can hit it just right. It says left and right. Make sure that you're putting these and the hand guards, they're also marked left and right. Make sure that you're putting them on the right hands and legs. Because if you don't, they are nightmarishly pain in the dick. So that's what we're gonna work on tonight. So this is just an absolute fun figure. I've got him posed up as per the box art. And it's I'm super, super happy with it. I have done my sacrifices to Shaggy Gamorth, so this is an approved project. I had to mention that little guy real quick, not because of him, but because of the little buddy he comes with. My wife does a lot of paracord stuff. I really want to get her to make me a little paracord wrap for this so I can swing it around my head, and because they're kind of bendy. They are very sharp. These little rubber bits, on these spikes. Um, GI Joe can't even make weapons that are this firm. So this thing could do some damage. I imagine this is the um Battlestar Galactica Viper of our generation, because some kid is going to put their eye out with this. This is I'm waiting. I have a Google search for problems and recalls with this toy. So keep your boxes, kids, because this right here is going to be that's going to be the news report. I'm sure we'll have congressional meetings about the toy industry and everything. Um, and but has everybody heard yet that we're getting? I'm kind of interested to see what chat says about this. So let's clean the slate. Robert Kirkman, who is notoriously famous for being able to finish a project in a timely manner, has announced that he is doing a Transformers X G.I. Joe animated series. Pause for response. I am going to say no. I am fairly certain that this has to do with Energon Universe, which he is also taken completely over. No longer a rumor, Kaiju. Confirmed. I believe. My sources can sometimes be unreliable, and I am heavily medicated. I believe it's confirmed. The sources that were putting it out today were pretty because he's denied it in the past. And and said that wasn't happening. But I got a feeling that was probably um probably something that he had to say, because I don't think it was finalized. But it's I know a few Hollywood people. NDAs are weird shit. So 99.9% sure this is Energon. This is not Michael Bay shit. It's Robert Kirkman, so it's Energon Universe. Which will probably change a lot of things going forward. It's probably not going to change too much of the Transformers stuff. You may get some toy lines coming out, but this is supposed to be an adult series. Now I don't think any of the I don't think any of the Transformers movies are on Prime. I don't think any of the GI Joe movies are on Prime unless you buy them. So the venue for this animated series, um 97.8%. Um, in front of a live studio audience. They're called baiters. I am you're trying to derail me. Let me finish my first thought. Um, but damn it. The venue for this series, whether it would be on Amazon or whether it would be on HBO, the venue for this is going to uh I'm going to, because Kirkman's got a really good relationship with Amazon. So this being a Prime series would be interesting, but um it's definitely gonna it's I doubt we're getting a movie. Um Energon, the build up for Energon Universe from a Transformers perspective and a G.I. Joe perspective, and getting those two together, um you it's going to be interested to see that as one series, um because you almost need a GI Joe and then a Transformers and then have them converge, um or keep them separate. I I'm not opposed to either. um it I know somebody who would damn sure be interested in a Transformers show, but um we'll see. I mean, it's Kirkman, so I guarantee you we're not going to see shit until like 2027. Um, if it was announced today, then it's, and how much will it differ from the published Energon universe? I know that The Incredibles by Robert Kirkman. I'd pay for that Disney movie. Invincible is kind of a little bit different from the comic. Um, not how much, I don't know, because I didn't really get too much into Invincible. I think there's less filler in the in the cartoon, but that's I really need to read that series. Um, but as about Michael Bay and the Bayverse, um, it's not real. Yeah, it's a little assistant just told me it's not real. It's not real. I'm sorry if I'm the one who has to tell you this. Um, it's all Hollywood. They film that in a studio and CGI. Sorry. Anyway, I like Michael Bay movies. Big explosions, go boom, and uh hot chick leaning over car. Um, but and how else, if you don't watch Michael Bay movies, how else will you, people out there in the world, um, know at what age they can uh, run off with our daughters? So, it, um, I'm not a super big fan of Michael Bay movies, as Transformers movies. They're I've watched them all, and, um, if you like them, it's fine. I don't hate them as much as they deserve to be hated. Uh, but, um, I my problem is probably I'm too old and my vision has gone down because when I see a robot, I want to know that it's robot. I don't need the little mouths to move. I don't need super detail like that. You can simplify it a little bit. I imagine a alien civilization with 4 million years has figured out a way to smooth out some of their robotics. Uh, I but again, it's Michael Bay Transformers and Turtles has always seemed to me like a nostalgia cash in. Um, and and they are, and shit. So is this, and um, my Unicron is yellow and blue. That's all I need to say about that. But um, I didn't hate the storylines except for that medieval one. Apparently, even among Bayverse people, that one mm, just don't talk about that one. Um, but again, I didn't hate them. I've watched them all, even the turtle ones. Were worth a watch. They're just I don't own any of those DVDs, but I got the complete GI Joe, Transformers, and um, this goes into a much deeper conversation with me about the lack of respect for animation in the States. If Michael Bay had done an animated series, not CGI, not trying to make it real life, um, and done and because they're okay. I mean, they're not really made for me. They're probably made for someone more your age, Frankie. It's that's always going to be when you're my age and they get the new Transformers movie. You're going to be like, that ain't my Transformers. Ah, where's the explosions? Where's the Megan Fox titties? Um, it and then your dad's like, why aren't they a cartoon? It's um they're again, if you take the whole age of consent bullshit, um creeper shit out of the Michael Bay films, um one of my favorite movies of all time is The Rock. I like Nicolas Cage movies. Um, I would probably own a copy of a Nicolas Cage Superman movie if it had gotten made. Um, Michael Bay knows how to make a good movie. I think the only thing, it's not story, it's not actors, not the voice actors. Hugo Weaving as Megatron. I would I have liked to have the original voice actors? Yeah, fine, but Hugo Weaving as Megatron, I'm okay with that. I think it's 100% what I don't like about those Transformers movies is the um the way the Transformers look. That that's it. It Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um the stories weren't bad. I mean, listen, I grew up with animated Transformers and some pretty silly stories. I have read the American Transformer, the Marvel Transformers, the if you want some really good Transformer stories, the UK Transformer comic, um, par excellence. But there's some ignorant shit in those. Um, yeah, and like it's the Devastator. You just created a I can't. Anyway, y'all are getting we're talking about Budo. This is Samurai. We're talking about Michael Bay Transformers movie. I should know that, and I know I do. It's right here, and yeah. Um, yeah, that's right. He did, didn't he? Um, and again, it's I've watched them all. If there was one on TV, I would probably sit and watch it. I'm a little starved for um something. It's a good time waster, but it's also there's something that I don't get super involved with. And I know me, there's some people out there um that um oh, I'm glad you completed it. Good for you. No, you're not. You're just telling yourself that. Um I don't get involved. Like I don't have any of the Bayverse transformer, those transformers, that's how we do it down here. Um but I don't have any of the Bayverse toys or anything like that. I think I had a little one of those little small Ironsides, and it was an interesting transformation, but um they just they don't do anything for me design wise. Aesthetically, it is not aesthetically pleasing to me. Um but Sunbow animation, especially movie level, where you have the cell shading, everything like that. That just bring back good animation for adults. I mean, we've got adult animation. It's Invincible. Kirkman, if anybody can make adults like animation again. I've got a few qualms with Robert Kirkman. Um, Nothing spectacular, but um, every bit of my, you know what? Every bit of my problems with Kirkman is all live action. So there you go. Stick with what you know. And that's it. So no, 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 no. You have made me talk politics, sir. No, no. Like Frankie was saying, just let the hate just flow through you. It and the turtle movies, I really didn't have a problem with. It again, they were good for one watch for me. That they weren't something but my wife is the turtle head, not me. Turtles killed my toy lines. I've told you this before. Keep bringing up this painful subject to me. Make me talk about turtles. Yeah, I kind of like turtles. I said good day, sir. Uh, I'm forced to like turtles. But my turtles were the original comic book turtles. Those are my turtles. Um, and I love those. Give me just Donatello smashing a mouser with his bow staff, and you only needed one color. You didn't need any letters on no belts to know who was who. Um, you recognized what their specialty was, and you recognized that turtle by what they carried, not what color headband they wore. Raphael had the sai, Donatello had the bow staff, Leonardo had the katanas, and Michelangelo had his nunchucks. That's it. Each one a specialty. And it was all in black and white anyway. So it we didn't know about colors then. So but but can you explain it again? You could just rewatch one of your old episodes. It but anyway, no, it's I don't have a problem with any of this stuff. It's all pop culture. It all fascinates me. Uh, People's reactions to it fascinate me. But personally, I went from an era where you see those old photos of Toys R Us back in the early 80s where there were just boxes of GI Joe and Star Wars stacked ceiling, big boxes, ones you could, bury your kids in out in the backyard, build forts out of, bury your kids. um and how do you do? Nice to see you, Leah. Um and So I went from seeing my Star Wars toys and my GI Joe toys, which were my two big interests as a kid, dwindled down to nothing and be took over by Playmates. Playmates got just massive amounts of shelf space. Um, and you know, and Cops and all the other ones that came out where, you had, to me, and you want to get real about this, I'll talk about this for just a second. you had early articulation of GI Joe figures, which for me was amazing. Going from, you know, hopefully 5-point articulation of the Kenner Star Wars line to the early GI Joe toys, 83 to 89, you know, uh, where you had Kung Fu Grip, you had swivels, arms and elbows that bent, knees that bent, knees that bent. Knees are supposed to fucking bend. Um, Having that level of articulation and then seeing it go backwards with Playmates and, going back to a 5-point articulation and some kind of rubber band gimmick. Uh, even as a kid, it bothered me a little bit because I just thought that, especially because I was a Turtle fan. Again, the old Eastman Liard comic book, that they were super hard to get for me as a kid. So when I got one, it was exceptional. There was one that that I really remember had the gas guzzler. It was just these Von Dutch Ed Roth looking creatures. Uh I'll have to find I sold all my Turtle comics a long time ago, but it was one of my favorite issues. All black and white, pen and ink. Um and I never got those turtles. Um by the time Playmates was putting out, you had the animated cartoon, which is a kids cartoon. This just like G.I. Joe's and Transformers was. It was for kids. Um and I'm always happy to have, that um but for me it was always about the toys. The animation I liked, but by the time that was hitting, I was into Robotech, Macross, um, you know, I had already elevated to a higher plane of existence with my animation and had um it's nothing's ever good enough. It always I need the better. It's who's doing it better. Um and for me Playmates was going backwards. And I always try to face forward. Want to see what's next. It that it's I like classified now. But what's next? That's what I want to know. I've seen what figure articulation can do. I own a couple. I need to bring them out and show them off sometime. The If you ever want to know what articulation can be like in a figure, and I warn you now, it will ruin you for articulation in other toys. Drop the coin and buy a 1,000 toys synthetic human. Don't get the 6-inch, get the 12-inch. You can still get the 6-inch. They're really good too. Um, you get that figure and you will see what's possible with articulation to today's level. Now, that's not 5 years from now, which I fully expect in the next 5 years, it's going to start going backwards again. because that has been the cycle of my life. You have advancement in toys, and then they go backwards. So for every 5 years of advancement, it's then going to drop back 10 years and build back. So you're always 5 years behind when it comes to articulation. Um, unless you're in Japan, because they don't give a fuck. They want what's better. That's why you have third parties now who are blowing things away. Uh, in art, that stupid fucking Batman that look at that. I made it 41 minutes before I dropped an F bomb. You're welcome, YouTube. Um, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, it's if they could figure out, and I don't have one of the 6-inch. Um, I keep meaning to pick one up, but um I gotta get some work done first. gotta gotta make that cheddar. They keep getting more expensive and I keep getting more broke. Um but from Bayformers hate to TMNT hate. All in one. No, listen, I don't hate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I do not. Um and I have just finished saying that the okay, you said Bayformers. Um no, I did as a kid. I really disliked the animated show and I really disliked the Playmate toys. And again, I'm just I am an articulation snob. Um, if you could figure out how to make a classified where all 10 fingers and toes, moved, I'd buy that figure. Um, no, man, no. Love piece of chicken grease. That it's it's because I know it's because I believe that we've become so accustomed to just what they will do that we overlook what they can do, especially when it comes to um, toys and articulation. So, there is that fucking dirt bike kid. It's only on night. I swear to God, I don't hear him any other night than just the days he does that I do this show. Um, anyway, um, I'm gonna keep talking, but I do need to get started on all this crap. Um, let your soul glow. it I'm glad that people find joy in anything in this world. Uh and again, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that they did with the CGI um had Patrick Stewart as the immortal when they were chasing down the demons. Um that was a fantastic animated movie. That was a good turtle story. I mean, a really good turtle story. Um, where they kind of took it after that, I think they had a series after that. It was it was fairly good. Um, the problem with turtles is they will license that shit to anybody, and not everybody gives two shits about, it's if I come up with an original character and I care about that character and I build it up and I come up with a articulated backstory and and design and all this stuff, and then I just give it to everybody. Everybody's going to put themselves into my character, and um, you see it a lot, especially with and some people accept that. Um, some people accept it begrudgingly. Uh, the customization. Everybody wants that character to, have a little bit of them in it. So I think that's one of the main problems with modern turtles is that everybody has tried to put themselves into it. They love turtles, but they can't stop collecting Masters of the Universe. So what do? We need a Masters of the Universe. Um, that I don't remember anybody asking for. Um, that's it. Yeah, that you know what? That's and it's not hate. It's just an observation. Turtles keep appearing in places where I don't need them to be. Stay in your lane, turtles. Oh. And now they got kaiju turtles. Buddy of mine sent me a picture of one the other day. I didn't know that this was a thing. It's a thing. It they're they need to get back on track. I don't think the Mutant Mayhem animated series did it for them. I watched just a few episodes. Um um there's already a turtle out there with a fez. I guarantee it. I'm not going to Google it because I already know it's there. I've never seen one, but I know that somewhere there's a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle wearing a fez. It exists. It has to. Every fucking other thing exists with turtles. Um, they need to get it back on track, and I thought they had it. I really, really thought they had it with that CGI movie. Um, they had good story writers. They had a great animation department. Um, and then they didn't. And I think that holy shit. Master Son, how are you doing, bud? It's great to see you. I was just thinking about you the other day. um, I would really like to see. Now, there's problems with the original comic. Um, I don't think Kevin or Peter ever thought that it was going to go past like 4 issues or something like that. So, it they kill Shredder like that. It's just hey, we go spoiler alert on a 35, 40-year-old comic. Um, but here's the turtles, here's their story, here's uh April O'Neil, and who, by the way, was based off Kevin Eastman's girlfriend, who was Puerto Rican. We all like jumpsuit, yellow jumpsuit, redhead, big tittied April, but um, April O'Neil, yeah, she looked like J Lo. So, or probably because listen, Kevin Eastman only has one type of look of lady he likes, and if they all look like Julie Strain, so and he's not wrong about everything. Rest her soul. But I think if they just kind of reworked the original comic, just kind of just clean the slate, start over, and they've made Turtles too much kid based. And I think, maybe there's some hope. This is my hope, is with all the work that Kirkman's doing with animation, um, and Invincible, it's not a kid's cartoon, not kids animation. You could call it a cartoon. Stop it. If he could, he's if anybody can help change shit, it's going to be him. Now I've seen Warner Brothers do a few, Justice League that were definitely not kid shows. I think there's Suicide Squad, um, one's definitely, but and I've always said like DC Comics and Warner Brothers need to just cut out trying to do anything kid related. You've got it out there. If you start today watching Batman animated series and then watch all of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, you've got a couple, you got a couple years of entertainment right there. So ditch all that shit, go strictly adult animation, and they would own the market. Own it. All right. Let's plan this out. So we've got this. Oh yeah, remember we're doing a Budo armor stand. And what I'm going to be doing this out of. So when I went to DFW, I got to do a workshop with a lot of the original Hasbro designers. So this is all Hasbro plastic. And what doesn't work with that, I've got some Plasticard and some Hasbro glue. So, and sharp instruments. So definitely stick around, because I guarantee you, my wife is going to have to come out and bring me Band-Aids. So if you're squeamish at the sight of blood, just run away now. And because I guarantee you that there's some one of these digis will sacrifice to the cause. So okay. So this is the base that I have. And I have this base because the Necron McFarlane toy that I had to go the way of the dumpster. I don't care how plastic safe the glue is that you, or the paint is that you have. It will not primer a McFarlane toy. And I don't know if I can get that Warhammer. That doesn't have any sandpaper on it whatsoever. I was tricked. Okay. So we need to start with a little bit of scale. This is kind of, I think, where we're going to end up, but we've got these pauldrons on here that we've got to work around. So these, if it's going to hold armrests, are probably going to have to sit like this. I think that looks. We'll have the helmet setting. See if I can zoom in for y'all. I like to be able to see Max. What are you doing there? Okay. Now, I also want to kind of scrunch this up because I don't want this thing to be as tall as the figure. Otherwise, I just have the guy sitting there. And of course, Hasbro has started openly copying Bobby Vala. So you have mushroom head points and this armor opens up. So that is going to be really good. And I'm glad they did. It needed done. I wish that Classified had been doing that shit from day one. Okay. Just going to make a little sketch. All right. So that's our body. Legs, I'm pretty sure, are just going to. I don't know. I may have something. So I'm going to include at least one leg. All right. Oh, come on. Frankie, have a good night, bud. We're doing all technical work from here on out, so you ain't missing too. Okay. So from top to bottom, we need about 5.5 inches. So from that, remember, this is our end goal. So with the head, we're going to need a little bit mushroom on top. Can have a little empty post that's shoulder level, that's waist level, that's in game. These are leggings. Thinking that I want to do probably everything I need here is just build a box. Then I need to have something that will hold arm pieces. I'm going to sit a bit there. A little stopper on it so these can rest. That right there. The leggings. The leggings, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with until I get the rest of this finished. But that seems to be. See if I got a piece of plastic that's. I kept every scrap from that workshop. This stuff is fantastic. They vacuum molded. You could build one of the trucks, G.I. Joe trucks, and the Piranha. That will be good. Oh, now I've made just absolute mess. Get another piece out of here. Don't think I should use these because I think these go to the pickup that my wife and kid made. I made a Piranha. I don't want to use their parts. I think this will be more than enough plastic, and anything else I can use the plastic card. You should have pre-planned this, Max. You could have had some stuff ready to go. Yeah, I could have. Maybe I'll keep that piece out too. But Shaka Gamorth requires sacrifice. And your time seemed a worthy one. All right. So we got 3 good pieces of plastic here. And I think got a good right angle on this one. I think the first thing we do, this stuff here is just Polycraft. If you want, this is Amazon stuff. You can also get, these are some of the sheets. They come in a variety of width. I think I've used some of the thickest stuff already. But we're going to get hole right here. I'm going to go ahead and get it. That base. I'm going to be painting this emery cloth. You get this stuff in a roll. Yeah, Stu. Polystyrene. Oh, goodbye, Warhammer. I am going to leave this peg on here. I don't know why, but rough this up just a little bit because glue likes sticky shit. Or rough shit, excuse me. And I'm pretty sure that this is polystyrene too. You can see, maybe you can. There we go. Got a little texture to it, and then the other side is smooth. They didn't tell me exact. I'm pretty sure you can get this on Amazon. The Hasbro guys didn't really say exactly who, what, where, and when of where they got it, but and this glue is something else too. It's not your typical super. It does dry fast. Very watery. I should have gotten accelerator. Oh yeah, there's that glue smell. Oh. Well, you got to hold it for a bit. Sometimes it helps kind of move it around a little bit so you start seeing it melt into the plastic. And then it's forever. Make sure that you get it. And then it's forever. Okay. We've got I'm gonna start jug band with this thing. White knuckle that shit. Now you have to be careful, Stu, not all styrene is created equal. I have used some stuff. In fact, this stuff I've used right here, I used to make a armor mount for some Valiverse stuff. And it literally took, like, I used just a regular hobby glue you get over at some of the hobby shops that's got the pink label on it, but it's basically a fancier super glue. And I'm not even kidding when I say it took about 6 months to dry. This stuff, on the other hand, I really have got to find out what the because it is phenomenal. If you're gluing plastic together. And now that's forever. Okay. All right. So we have our base. Now it won't be this tall. I'll cut it down. Got a number of little saws. They're not my normal razor saws, but they are some that I had handy, and I thought I would use them. So let's if you don't know about Stabilo pencils, these are an old sign painter's pencil. Or at least that's what I used them for. And they write on everything. We're going to mark spot. That's the halfway mark. I want to go all the way across. I need double that. I really hate. You want to talk about hate? I'll tell you about hate. I hate measuring shit. I greatly dislike it. Robert Diaz says, Max, I've been driving for the last hour. 2 things I've seen that I wish I could unsee. I saw a Pokemon parody. Oh, I really wish I'd read that ahead of time. Thanks, Robert Diaz. I appreciate you. Think. What is it? Rule 34? that is the rule for all things. I want to make sure. See, that's going to be too wide, so I need to go original. See, that's what I get. I tried to get out of measuring and thought, oh, I'll just go with the width of the ruler. But that would have been too wide. So I need to take that down. My handy dandy Stabilo pen. Don't you tell anybody about these Stabilos. They're getting hard enough to find as it is. So y'all just pretend I didn't tell you nothing about that. All right. The cap's off. That's a great thing about this Plastcard. You just snaps like that. If I can find a source for this, oh yeah, is that Tron Kickstarter doing well? I seen it was up to They had 1,009. I don't know who those last 9 people were, but Rowdy, look for me real quick and tell me what the current number is, because if it's over 1,020, I dun, 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 dun. Long Max is just breaking that plastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be good. All right. Well, my initial plans, God, it's so hard to see this. I know. Um, I was going to do a triangle right here, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do that. I wonder if maybe I just need to just stick with. I'm going to take these. Measure once, cut twice, people. That's the rules. Oh yeah, these are nippers. I think I got these from Papa John from JMK Customs. His dad. He did a really cool workshop at DFW. I really need to do his figure. I am still. I got screwed over on buying a Destro. My daughter's got hers, but I never got mine. So I still. It's a custom kit. And I think I don't know if you can still get these over at JMK Customs, but it's got all the price. You take a G.I. Joe classified Destro, and it's got, he does these resin printings that are just spectacular. And you can turn it into a spaceman. And I really need to get these painted up and do that kit. And I'm not putting it off. It's up to 1,032. Oh. Hey, what's up, Haystack? Ooh, what you building a motor for? You can always bet that if my buddy Haystack is putting something together mechanical, it is either very cool or very destructive, or both. Yeah, well, yeah. There you go. See, I was right. Okay. All right. So we've got our main piece here. By the way, Rowdy, that Tron shit just makes me sad. Wonder if there's a way in this without having to heat it up. Don't need much. Need it to kind of be a little curved. And the only Hey, Ronnie. See if I leave it like this. It's hard to see, but just that. Oh, yeah, that does. Okay. All right. We're gonna need. I want another piece of pipe. I want it to be able. It can't be. I need it smaller than this because I want it to eventually slide down in here, so I can just lift up the whole thing off of the base. So we're going to go the next size down. I think that's this one. Yay! Plastic. All right. Need this. Want it to just stop short just a little bit. The bottom. Go right here and listen. Cutting this stuff is real easy. Put the blade on it, put a little bit of pressure, and just roll it. Ta-da! Nice, clean cut. It doesn't squish it. If you just hold it and try to push straight down, you're going to crimp it. And then it's just going to be a pain in the ass. You got to go and, yeah, just nice and easy. Um, all right. So we need this here. I need to put just a little bit of this glue on the back here. Ooh, that stuff smells good. Absolutely. And the more of this I'm around, the more sensual it feels. This shit. This is why, modelers and this is why strokes happen. All right. I need to figure out a way to do a headrest. Now, I've got some of those boss fight skulls, and that would be kind of cool, but I really like my skulls, and I don't really want to use them. I'm looking around my desk at what would be an fix. And what I'm thinking, we glued. Oh, that's it. And now it's forever. I will probably, I'm probably going to take, see, that's the thing about modeling is you always prepare for having to use a shit ton of stuff and then you end up using next to nothing. Now I'm probably going to bulk this up a little bit and put in a couple more pieces. Um, I don't want to get too complicated with this. Uh, but now I can slowly just yeah, just like that. And so now I'm going to use less of this. I'll be able yeah. Yeah, this is working out. See that the I have a solution. I know what to do. You grab these. This still work? Oh, yeah, that one still works. All right, let me find a sharp. Still ain't more. Oh, look, there's another one. Oh, all right. So for that cap, I'm thinking that I can cut off the top of that Sharpie. I think, yeah, that fits pretty good. And I got plenty of room right there. So let's see what this is going to entail. Well, they really don't want you to cut that shit off, do they? Ooh, Sharpie smell, glue smell. God damn, we're fucking winning tonight. No, that won't. Hold on, let me put out the call. Oh, tiny assistant. Oh, okay. Maybe my kid is already asleep. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing because oh, wait a second. I do have a little razor saw here. Let's see how this works. I got a feeling that I'm about to make such this mess. Really smart. I would go grab my normal exactos and not this cheap shit. But sometimes cheap shits, you know. Yep. Cheap fucking shit. Ow. Ah, and there's the first cut of the night. Well, let me tell you something that I learned over the years about razor saws. You think, oh, yeah, it's just a saw, no big deal. But what should leave you to know that you're wrong in that is the first part of that razor. Ow, son of a no, no. All right. I really hope I don't go through all this just to find out that this is not going to be what I want. Oh, it is. It is going to be what I want. Yay! I like getting what I want. The inside of a Sharpie, folks. I can just pull the rest of that out. All right. Now, will it fit? Yeah, good enough. Okay, let's put Monsieur Razor Saw somewhere else. I know you're like, no, wait, Max, there's more that could be done to your flesh. Shaka Gamorth demands your sacrifice. But don't worry, I've still got an X-Acto blade. So a lot of people like Tron. Not that many people like shitty versions that that are way overpriced. If they had get me started on that fucking HasLab rowdy. You're just being rowdy. Trying to get my blood sugar up. I actually really, really feel bad for the designer from Hasbro who came out for that unveiling of that HasLab. And I get what they're trying to do. It's in the name, Max. You know what you're in for. Fair enough, and welcome. So, Alicia Brass. I love Tron. That designer who came out obviously just sick, like flu or plague or whatever the fuck it was. Ooh, that got everywhere. I'm gonna glue my fingers together. Ah! So you stay where you're to. I get what they were going for with that Tron HasLab. That they really wanted to pay homage to a lot of the early Tron toys. But they need to get through their fucking mind a lot of the points. See, we're coming back full circle from some of the stuff I was talking about. People don't want to go backwards with articulation. They've seen what the future holds. Future Man has shown them, and they want what Future Man has to sell. I loved my original Tron toys, the translucent ones and everything like that. Quark and all that. I want to say that I even had one of the original light cycles, and I have got the lid on this glue. It is. It doesn't feel the same when you get it on your fingers. Um, there we go. Now we have our cap. And mark this Sharpie. That's cutting the base. Stabilo's great until you've got to mark a something that's white, and then it's you came off, didn't you? Shit. Um, that on a little bit. Um, that Tron offering was just bad. The original Tron toys look better. I mean, and the figures, I didn't even like how those figures looked. Um, I really didn't. Even for that they they have the same problems that I have with the articulation of like Black Series, the Star Wars stuff, and it where is it? Okay, cut this. Um, so I'm not saying that classified is the best articulation, um, but it's damn sure the best articulation that Hasbro is offering in their toy lines, um, with the exception of tools. By the way, uh, flat pliers are great for bending plastic. Um, even Marvel Legends. You know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. Marvel Legends is good. They've done well with articulation. A lot of improvement. Um, Yet they won't take those same steps with Black Series, and I don't understand that. Not that, and I get it. You've got like if you watch um Miss Rowdy Riles, who's over in chat, just did a great video on Han Solo and made a point that had me thinking about this, which is their articulation goes a little bit more along the lines of trying to keep a balance between articulation and aesthetics because they have a lot of robes, they have a lot of loose clothing and stuff like that. They're not just using a general buck for each figure. There's not a lot of reuse in Black Series because Chewbacca's legs won't fit on Princess Leia. Um, Although it'd be fun to try. um, want to beef it. So um, but I still would like to kind of see a little bit. I don't know. Just shut up, Max. We're tired of hearing about your fucking articulation snobbery and that shit. getting old. You know, get off my lawn. Um, but for anybody watching, you should definitely go check out Rowdy's Han Solo um, review. It's really good. I want this to be dry before I test it. Come here, stability. Okay. Shit, I think we're going to need a couple more caps. I'm gonna have to cut off 2 more ends. You know, I'm gonna try some other trickery when it comes to that. I don't want to cut up any more Sharpies. Headpiece is good, but I don't want that same piece showing down. Um, but you're going to need 2 pieces coming out of arms. By the way, for those who cut in and out, just know that I am on tonight until this project is done. Not to final completion because I'll paint it later, um, which is probably just going to be throwing some primer on it. That's may end up. I'm gonna glue this on, but I may end up cutting this back off. Something else. Let's see. Wait, need just gonna have to suck it up and cut them both now because it's gonna be a bitch to cut that one if glue it on. Got to roll it. um, what was I talking about? Leah didn't shave until the third movie. All right, we'll take our nippers. We'll do just a little angle cut. And it's okay if this crimps because I want it to kind of sit out of the stability. See, I may have needed it a little bit longer. And bring it out just a bit. Yeah, that might still work. Spots. Anyway, oh yeah, we were talking about Tron. I recently heard that there's been a lot of talk and speculation about this 375 that Hasbro is, and apparently, from what I have been hearing from very reliable sources, is that Hasbro is not, in fact, doing a 3 3/4 inch line. What they are doing is trying to circumvent a Disney license. Yeah, I will read the quote. Um, Scroll back. Holy crap. I a lot of fucking pictures. Hasbro 375 is purely for HasLabs. Hasbro is dumping the scale into crowdfunding for anything outside of Star Wars and G.I. Joe's versus Transformers to skate around their license agreement with Disney. The 1/12 Legacy line. Da, 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 da. Yeah, anyway. Um, and that makes a lot of sense. If I was and listen, if that's what it is, I am um I'm for anything that takes a few bucks out of Disney's pocket. But that'll get some hate mail. Robert Diaz says, "Oh, have you ever seen the movie Rock and Roll Nightmare?" I've seen Rock and Roll High School. Rock and Roll Nightmare. Why does that sound familiar? Who's in it, RD? It really does sound familiar. Why? What am I thinking of? Is that no? That's Kiss versus Phantom of the Opera. That's what. Um, no, no hate, but no. I know I'm doing this off camera, but I'm gonna cut this face off. All right, we're getting closer to it. Look at that. Da-da-da. Some sexy shit, right? Think. Stop it. So tell me, or I hope you're typing, Robert. Don't make me Google rock and roll night. Fucking shit. God damn. Why do I got to do all the work in this relationship, Robert? Rock and roll nightmare. 1987. When the band starts to rock, heads will roll. Okay. I mean, I got to admit, you know, David Lee Roth, of course, Riff Tracks did something on it. All right, let me get Satan has a farmhouse showdown with the righteous lead singer of a heavy metal band. Holy shit, if that doesn't sound like the greatest movie ever right there. At and of course the guy who stars in the film is also the one who wrote all the music, and he's a Canadian bodybuilder. Holy shit, this is amazing. Thank you, Robert. I am that is definitely going on my queue. I am going to find that and that is definitely watched. You had me at Canadian bodybuilder. I have been. You know what? I feel really bad that I have normally October is my wife's birthday month. So every day is about her, which is, you know, normal. You know, every day's about her anyway. Um, but um, she does not like scary movies at all. Um, but me and my daughter, we loves them. So I really try to get as many scary movies in October as I can with my daughter because it drives my wife nuts. And it wasn't a long drive. So, I don't give a shit if it's worth doing. It's worth overdoing. I don't know that my friend Haystack ever said that, but I'm going to believe that he, and that's where I got it. My imagination of my friend Haystack. telling me to just overdo it. Every Tuesday night, I watch awful movies with friends, and we watched Rock and Roll Nightmare this week. At what are you talking about? Not your friend, guy. Not your guy, friend, buddy. That I'll give it blue on there. Just touch it. I cannot even begin to describe how well this shit right here will make you want to huff glue. Don't do that, kids. Don't huff glue. Dear gods. um, huffing glue is bad and okay. So let's vape. We're about to try this thing on for the first time here in just a minute. Um, I'm reminded of a story. So I grew up with this guy and I watched his decline and it was heartbreaking. But there was this cat. I don't even want to tell you his name because somebody that you know is going to remember him and I'm going to get you that. But this guy that I knew, I went over to a friend's house one day and I heard this rustling in the bushes. And I'm like, the hell is that? And I genuinely thought it was like the biggest fucking raccoon I ever, seen in my life. And out walks this dude that I knew. All over the front of his mouth is just gold. Just completely. It's in his teeth. It's all around, like in the shape of, where somebody went like this. So it's a little triangular. You got a little Darth Vader triangle on his, all in gold paint. And he just looks at me and starts telling me some of the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. And believe me, I've been places, seen shit, I've heard shit. Nothing as crazy as the shit this dude tried to tell me. And then after it was all said and done, he wanted to for me to join him in the bushes uh, because he still had half a rattle can left. Dear God, don't huff shit. Okay. Bad enough. I really need some ventilation in here. Um, it's no wonder all those Hasbro guys are the way they are. Um, it all makes perfect sense. It's this glue. It's this shit. Whatever's in this bottle. Um, oof, probably causes cancer in at least 58 of the lower 48 states. um, I love. I don't even want to call them crappy horror movies. Um, just some of them that are just, we'll call it low production value. Um, there we go. That's fair. Um, All right, give me a second. I gotta do a little. So I grew up with before USA was what it is today as a television station. It was basically just all day crappy production movies, just whatever B-roll shit they could get, um, all day long. This is the greatest. Oh, here, I forgot. Kika's, man, this thing is just outstanding. I got it to dust off shit, but apparently they use this in hair salons, stuff like that. Got a little vacuum attachment to it. This thing is just, it'll blow some air, folks. It'll blow some air. All right. Don't want to push on this too much. I think we're getting pretty close where I'm going to have to put armor on it. If it glues, I'm going to be pissed. See, that looks good. Okay. See, that's working in the way I was hoping it. But I definitely, it actually, and maybe it'll hold without. No, I know what to do. I know what to do. Hold on, everybody. I got this. And that is still wet. And it still wants to be sticky. Oh yeah. See, Haystack knows what's up. USA up all night. All right. Two little but hell, even before Rhonda doing the up all night and everything like that, and Gilbert Godfrey, everybody forgets about him. You had Commander USA and Lefty, and he just basically just God, you got to Google this guy. It's amazing how we don't have a Netflix show that tells this guy's fucking story. Is a travesty upon this nation. So he just was this guy in this superhero. He had the bandit mask on, his hair all pomaded back, and he would take his cigar out, and on his left hand he'd draw a smiley face, and that was Lefty. And so Commander USA would just get on USA and just show whatever. Usually it was like, I think even Saturday afternoons, and it's before they had to put everything on the night. But I remember watching the first time I ever saw The Howling. God, I love that movie. You had The Howling, some of the, it was always USA. They'd show fucking anything. Hotel Hell. God, that was a great one. They'd always show the Psycho sequels. Hills Have Eyes. Oh, man. This is just emery cloth, by the way. I'm just smoothing out some of these. And I'm poking myself in my hand with the X-Acto. Okay, so explain real quick what I'm doing. So instead of doing these little pegs here for the arms, because these have to slide in. So they have to go on like that. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put a little piece over the edge right here. Just enough. I got to make sure that that is still. Yep. Uh, hmm. It doesn't push through very well. Still think it'll work. Kind of hangs up. The little lip on the inside of that, right about there, that it catches. So maybe I only need maybe I only need one of those. Okay, so that's the front. So I do that on the yeah, 'cause the front doesn't. Okay. All right. All the movies that I was never supposed to watch, that if of course I say that, and Haystack can testify to this. I grew up in a small rural town during the height of the satanic panic. Everything was the devil, and and it you had to be. Oh, hey, so I just came up with I'll finish my thought in a second, but I just came up with an idea for the feet. Still need to make sure all go fit the way I. Okay, so I need something that. So I need a little. But anyway, yeah, it's not something I really like to get into. I didn't have the most positive experience with that. Um, it caused a lot lot of problems in my life. Um, as it did with a lot of people who were just like me, who were just fucking weird. You know, playing Dungeons and Dragons for me as a kid was a secret thing. Because if you got caught playing it by my parents, it was going to end badly. All the shit we did as a kid, they were worried about Dungeons and Dragons. Should have been worried about fucking Boone's Farm or whatever shit us kids were trying to. Okay, now I need to figure out a way to put a hole in the middle of this because I need this. I have to angle. That's I have a lot of people that I knew when I was a kid who really think that I hate the area I grew up in, and that's not true at all. I love it. It's beautiful, and beautiful people in it. It just, you ever have something that no matter how much you love it, it is just the worst thing for you? Like old fashioned donuts. Presented with an opportunity to move back there and open an antique shop. And in my mind, I thought, that is wonderful. See some of my old friends when I was a kid, you know, people I still talk to, like the wonderful Mr. Haystack. And then the other part of me, finally, the normal part of my brain kicked in and was like, you would be in jail in 48 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, 48 hours. That's probably being generous. Me and the area I grew up in, I really think because you know it's and I got in so much trouble as a kid. I was all over the place. If there was trouble to be had, Maximilian Tucker was behind it. Hell, when I was out of the country, I still got blamed for shit that happened in that damn town. One of the one of my friends went and salted a, a golf course, which is something that everybody should do. Um, but they put a big pentagram in salt on the golf course, and I don't know if you're familiar with what salt does to a golf course. Um, it doesn't end well. And I got blamed for it. At the time that it happened, I'm fairly certain I was either in Canada or some other foreign country. But I still got a call from people wanting me to answer for my crime. I wish I could lay claim to that one. There's a lot of things I did. A lot of things I never got cut. You know, half the shit I got blamed for, it wasn't me. But if they only knew all the shit I got away with. All of us. There's just there's something about being small town, middle of nowhere, population size that I had growing up that you just God, I had to I was going to destroy myself, get out of it. And I don't think I was the only one. I think there was a lot of people. Some of them, the military was the right answer for them, and they went on and did some great things. Um, Shout out to our vets. Okay, so that's going to sit like this. Yeah. Now I need a hole in the middle of it a little bit. So file. Give me a second while I look for shit. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Small town life is interesting. And in some ways, I kind of went back to it. Somehow you ended up not live. Am I not still live? I hope I'm still live. The probably listen, at our age, you probably dozed off. It's okay. Just roll with it and uh there's always the replay. Um how I'm getting a hole in this, by the way, is I'm taking a screw. I'm going to screw it in there. Then I'm going to hollow it out with the X-Acto because I'm too lazy to go walk 10 feet to get a drill bit. Um, Small town life is interesting. Um, and for some people, it's destructive. We and me and Haystack, he can testify. We've got a lot of friends who didn't make it. There were some people that we grew up with where the only way out was the last way out. And the and be that through self means or hey Derek, how you doing? We're building a armor stand for some samurai armor. Um and talking about small town life. And I kind of went back to it. And I think some of us do. Maybe it's you kind of I want to say have to walk fucking I mean, I don't have any drill bits, but I've got a 40-volt control transformer. So that right here next to the desk. I've got a $3,000 toolbox. And there ain't a single fucking tool in it. Yeah, and you know what? It's sometimes that's the worst thing, and sometimes it's the best thing. Um, yeah, and it's I don't know. It's it's weird. It's just weird. Small towns are fucking weird. And you can't say that because it's you can't be antisocial in a small town. Um, you can be the asshole that nobody wants to be around, but in my case anyway, that's um God man, just go and get a damn drill bit. Screw with this shit. I'm gonna cut my fucking finger, and my wife is going to make me get off TV. Um, some days I miss those little old ladies worrying about what color my poop was. Um, oh, almost there. Just wanted to slide over the top of that. I got one little spot right back here. This is a rounded file. No, that doesn't make you an asshole. It makes other people assholes because they don't, because they want to be lied to. So that fuck them. I've yeah. I don't know. We don't want to be lie. We don't want to lie, and we want the truth. But we're so willing to accept lies. It's funny how that shit works out. What a world! What a world! Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so here's what we got. So that is going to sit on top. And then this now has a base here, sit on the bottom. So that, and I think I know what I want to do with the leggings now. So with the leggings, I think that's the thickest one I've got. I think I could put two more posts here in the front, and that's where the leggings sit. But I think if I do them just a little bit at an angle, let's see what happens. Excuse me. Let to go at least there. There. This. I'm going to cut the way I want it. Maybe. Oh. way that sits. Ooh, I haven't. So I think I want to put it in a V shape going in the front. And these will sit going that way. Yeah, like that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Start telling cheap Exacto blades. Start getting bendy. All right. The whole time. Did you guys cut out or something? Always watching was asking. Did I cut out? You guys, did I lose stream or something? I'm gonna put a little. I think my problem. I don't think that it was that my small town, you know, um, I think my particular one was so far away from civilization because the nearest town was, I grew up in the panhandle of Oklahoma. And for those that don't, and the nearest big town was Amarillo, Texas. That was the nearest comic book shop. That was the nearest um, game store. Uh, everything. It just and there was no Amazon. You couldn't just order it and have it there, and hell, you still can't have it there overnight. That shit always takes a few extra days to get there. Um, oh, damn, this glue is starting to get to me, folks. Start seeing shit. Um, and that's just my era. That's I don't know how it is for some of those kids today. But there's no escape. It's like Renee coming in and telling um Mariel in Indiana Jones. Are you going to run away? It's desert 3 weeks in any direction. You know it. Shit, that's trying to move. Oh, I love this glue. That is a great thing about this glue is it melts this plastic. So it takes a little bit for it to. Oh, that Maximum Deadpool. Woo! Yeah, I seen your pictures. That is it really as rough as it looked in those pictures? Cause that looks kind of rough. I just put side. That is not even. Take it right back off. Um, you got 3 of those Maximum Deadpools? You didn't have any QC issues with yours? And you got some issues. I seen your picture. That yeah, that face was. I mean, it's Deadpool, but still. All right. So these are where the leggings are going to sit. Now I think we just need to let shit dry for a few minutes and see where we stand. Put a lid, fucking glue for a minute before I die. No, 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 no. Come on. Right where I wanted you. Move. There we go. I wanted to build this like it's something that somebody would do with some PVC pipe um, in a dojo. Uh, so I think I've pulled that off, but I think I'm going to dress it up a little bit more than that when it comes to the line. I don't know if I'm going to break out some putty and do all this up like it's bamboo, or I think that might be too much. But I thought about it. Zero QC issues for you. Yeah, I was um thinking about using some wooden rods to do all this. And you know, this can always just be a prototype, and I can redo it. So it that's always an option. Having a base model is um depends on the level of realism I want to get. Um I'm definitely going to give it a once over with some spray. But I want the focus to, once it's on there, the purpose of those armor stands, uh, if you look at any samurai armor, Edo period and stuff like that, uh, that you see in a museum, the point is not to see the stand or see it as little as possible, because the focus should be on the armor. So that's really what I really want to do. Man, that glue is getting to me. We're going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon, folks. That we'll let that glue dry. We'll BS for a little bit. Um, I'm looking forward to your video, Rowdy. Talking about that. I don't know if that was just you just got a bad copy. Didn't yours have like a gash on the face or something like that? It I would be a little upset, but I'm not. I don't know. I still, and of course, I finally, I don't own a Spider-Man. Not one. I haven't had one since I had a Mego, like when I was 5 or 6 years old. Um, and even then, those things were expensive on the secondary market, and I wasn't allowed to play with it. So, uh, I'd thought about getting the SH Figuarts one as my very first Spider-Man. And now, um, I think I heard something that it's not happening. So, oh, do we have a smokestack haystack? Are you working on a Briggs and Stratton, or no? Wait, you said you're working on a Kabuta. Never mind. That's way above my pay grade. Second, two-stroke engine repair. Listen, if it goes past a 25 cc motor, it's I got an RC truck that, man, that is a, you want to talk about a money pit. Somebody was talking about the money spent on toys and things like that, and as a hobby, and I do want to get into that. Um, I did I forgot to mention this first the show. So I didn't do go to bed last Saturday. Um, to only one or two use disappointment. But this weekend we have Rowdy's Roundup. So I'm doing that. Then the next weekend we'll get go to bed back on. Or I may change it. I don't know. I still don't know what I want to do with that show. But anyway, something I wanted to cover was like just anyway, I'll get into that anyway. But it's well, the point I was going to make is see that glue is starting to fuck with me. Um, that's why this needs to hurry up and dry so I can test it and call it a night. Open a fucking window. Um, so I've got an RC. I got a couple RC trucks and high end shit and modded a lot. And at one time, I think I spent like $1,000. Just went like, let's get some chassis upgrades, a few glow plugs, shit like that. Before I knew it, I was $1,000 deep into that shit. I was like, nope, never again. For something that and yes, Stu, I did bring enough glue for the whole class. Um deep breath. probably I probably got two dead cats and I probably just poisoned the whole house. So this is it. This is how we go. It wasn't the bomb, it wasn't the Ruskies. It was glue the whole time. Waiting for us to get comfortable. Or it made its but yeah, it you look at people like Woody 222, excellent person, has a massive, massive toy collection. He buys, you know, like that no, other side. That's snake armor right there. I think he got like 20 of those things. Uh so but that's still, and those they're like 89 bucks a pop, 100 bucks a pop. And he still don't spend as much money as people who do RC remote control cars and planes. I once saw a guy. He had a jet. I don't remember what kind of jet it was, but it was a remote control jet airplane. Had a fucking turbine jet in it. This thing was 15 feet long. He spent between the remote control and the plane, he had 18 grand in it. Runwayed it out, atomic batteries to power, brought up that turbine, got it up off the air. I watched that thing go straight up and then straight down. And I mean, at the speed it went straight down, we couldn't even find the tip of that airplane. It either just disintegrated or buried itself so deep in the earth that it was just done. We couldn't find it, but it just destroyed $18,000 worth of RC plane. Just gone. He got to watch that thing fly for less than 15 seconds. So no, that RC vehicles. Yeah, I learned my lesson on that. Traded. I had one of them, an electric motor one. I gave it to my nephew, which I'm no telling if he ever did anything with it. but that thing was all customized. It would do 95 miles an hour. I didn't even have a place where I could run it. It would go so fast. I got a 4x4 truck in the other room. Been trying to sell. Anybody needs a remote control truck, I got one. It's about $1,200 worth of fucking truck, custom motor, chassis, all this shit. Yours, $650. Holler at your boy. Everything you need but fuel. Almost need a piece of land like you got, Haystack, to run that thing. And it gets up there. You got trouble keeping tire. You got to buy new tires for that thing every time you take it out. All right. Let me check, see how we're doing. Close to. See, I don't want to use this hair dryer on it too much because Max make noise. See, I need to get an accelerator. That's what I thought about. Making up. Okay, let's see how we did. Open this guy up. Yeah, Toy Hobby. That shit's cheap. There. Oh yeah. Left. Hmm. That is exactly what I want. Right. Okay, so now we have this piece. It's going to sit. Did I do that fucking thing backward? Bet I did. And all right. You're not going to see it worth a shit on a flat surface. There we go. I was kinda I didn't really know how I was gonna do the leggings, but I am super happy with how that looks. Now I've still gotta turn this little bit around where the, this sits on because this is backwards. Um, but yeah, nice little armor rack. It's definitely going to be a static piece. Hey, Stack, you have a great night. Be safe. I love you, brother. Uh, let's see if I still turn that around. Let it dry just a little too much. This glue is pretty it. You wouldn't think so, but this glue is very forgiving. Oh yeah, look at that! I turned it around. Ha! Okay, now we got it right. So there we go. You fucking asshole. Probably gonna have to do something to go a little bit longer on there. I'd also like to do a flag, a little samurai flag, um, coming out the back. But yeah, definitely needed these to be a little bit longer. So they work, but not as well as I want them to. Probably should have just let them sit. Ah, but yeah, that worked really, really well. I am very happy with that. Take it apart. I don't want any of that glue drying. Rowdy, you have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We are cutting out. We made it to the 3 hour mark, which is definitely an hour longer than I really like to go. But that's it from concept, to execution. I will find out the type of glue this is. I will see if I can find uh, a name for this black plastic, um, and a source for it. I know I am super super terrible about going back and updating my descriptions and everything like that. So it if I don't, just keep on me. I'll sometime. Um and but I'm sure a little bit of guesswork. Uh it's not too hard to find all this shit. Yeah, see, look, this this stuff was something that it's not a normal super glue. The Hasbro guys talked about it. Really should have wrote it down. My daughter may have. So she was taking very good notes. So maybe she got the name. I will get with her and I promise I'll but it is fantastic for working with any of this polystyrene stuff. So I am very happy with the results tonight. And again, there's our little samurai mannequin. And it you can also use it as a if you don't want to build something like this, I think it's basically just a reinforced peace sign. So I was wanting to do a few things different, but everything just kind of worked out as it usually does. So if you don't know what you're doing, just then neither does your enemy. Master Son, you're gonna have to tell me. Somebody in the military said that once. I'm pretty sure that's basically been our anyway. Gonna call it a night. Get you guys a quote for this evening from Colin Jim's Dictionary of Quotes. Let's see. Oh, right there sounds good. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I can't even read that. That's in Gaelic. To the Reverend John McMath. They're singing, canting, grace proud faces, their 3-mile prayers and half-mile graces. Everybody have a great night and take care of one another, okay? Check on your neighbors. Drink your fluids. Have a great night, everybody.